You caught me woodworking. I like woodworking. It gives me a chance to kind of unplug from life and just focus a little bit of time on just one thing. I'm not thinking about work or my other responsibilities, and I get to create something new out of raw materials. I also like to write and produce music. I still get to create something, but now I get to create something out of nothing, except what's in my head. Now, am I a prolific woodworker or musician or producer? No. Am I adequate? I don't know. But it's something I enjoy, and anytime you can cast aside your worries and feel actual joy, it seems like a win in my book. Hobbies are an important part of our lives that have many benefits. But Guy from Man Camp, who has the time? Well, you do. Thanks to technology and modern conveniences, we have more free time than ever. Not many people these days are working 12-hour shifts 7 days a week anymore. From the way we prepare and cook our meals to the flexibility of how and where we can work, Americans are enjoying the most free time in the history of ever. Years ago, even without the convenience of modern life, it wasn't uncommon for people to have one or more hobbies. Bowling leagues, working on cars, learning an instrument. People viewed hobbies as a healthy outlet to counterbalance their hectic lives. So, what are we filling this free time with? Well, we're spending time in front of screens. Little screens, big screens, big screens. We're binge watching The Office for the fourth or fifth time. We're debating on Twitter or dancing on TikTok. Or maybe we're just scrolling through the titles on Netflix without actually watching anything. I do that all the time. I don't know why. But hobbies are a valuable part of our lives that should be explored and nurtured. An article in Psychology Today from Jamie Kurtz explores the benefits of hobbies and why you should get one, or keep the one you have, or get a new one. A lot of the content from this video comes from that article, so I'll post a link in the description below. So here are some reasons that you should get a hobby. Things take as much time as you have. Let's say you have a work project you need to do that has to be done by, say, tomorrow morning. You might take 15 minutes here, 15 minutes there, and the night kind of gets away from you, and then you got to frantically send emails at 3 in the morning. The lack of structure lends itself to being unmotivated and, if you're like me, easily distracted. But let's say that you have a painting class that you really enjoy, or your friends coming over to jam. Knowing you have those things scheduled ahead of you gives you the motivation to structure your time so that you can do the things that you enjoy. And a good consequence of this structure is that it actually creates more time in your day. If left to our own devices, we're often choosing passive leisure, web surfing or vegging out in front of the TV. And those are certainly times where that's appropriate, but we are actually invigorated by active leisure. Psychologist Mihaly, this is his last name, calls these things flow activities. Now, it's not a very catchy phrase, I'll admit, but it describes the kind of activities that you get into and you just kind of lose yourself. Have you ever been working on something and just kind of lose track of time? Even though you just spend hours doing something maybe physically or mentally strenuous, you still feel energized. A few weeks ago, I spent an entire weekend cleaning and organizing my dad's workshop, and I loved it. Do I love cleaning? No. Do I love organizing things? No. I should, but I don't. But what I did love was the end goal, an organized workshop where I will have the space to do the projects that I want to do. And I have that goal, and I'm going to be energized and invigorated to do whatever I have to do to reach it. Some hobbies are inherently group-oriented, like a basketball league or even Dungeons and Dragons. But even more solitary hobbies can introduce you to new people with similar interests. Sharing our interests will often result in meeting people we will never have met otherwise. And, as the point of this channel, you'll cultivate friendships, which are vital to our health. You'll also make friends with people who don't share your passions because this is a nice dovetail to the previous point. See what I did there? Dovetail, it's a woodworking. Never mind. Having a hobby makes you way more interesting. Instead of talking to people about the weather or other small talk, you can talk about your hobbies. Despite what you may believe, most people are actually interested in hearing about your hobbies. Nobody actually cares about talking about the weather. It's just a safe topic that people can talk about so they can connect with one another, because deep down, that's what we want. Hey, have you experienced this weather? Me too. Let's be friends. But your hobbies are something that makes you unique. I've casually slipped in conversations that I was recording or mixing a new song, and people get interested and they start asking questions. You record music? That's so cool. And then the conversation just seems to have a much more organic, natural flow. A positive consequence from this is that you may inspire someone. There's a couple people at my job who've shown interest in starting music production or wanting to learn to play an instrument. And maybe that wouldn't have happened if I hadn't talked to them. So, with minimal effort, just talking about the things you enjoy, you can actually help others and connect with them. Now, not money-wise, although some hobbies could be made into a pretty sweet side hustle or even a career. But I'm talking about your value you have to others. When you enjoy working and honing and refining a skill or activity that you enjoy, you can serve others with your talents. And if your passion is working on something like cars and you know a ton about them, and you can use that knowledge to help people with their cars. I know as men, we feel valued if our services help others. It's that innate sense in us, all of us have, to want to be able to provide and protect other people. When you enjoy something like a movie or an amazing cheeseburger, you tell people about it so that maybe they can experience that movie or cheeseburger and share in the joy that you had. In the same way, when you share your talents, you share their joy because you were able to help someone, look absolutely competent doing it, and increase your reputation as just an awesome dude. Look, life sucks. You work, you got bills to pay, medical stuff comes up, relationship issues, family issues, the list goes on. But having a hobby is a great way of reducing stress because your hobby is tied to your personhood. You got to choose your hobby. It's not thrust on you like some project at work that's boring and tedious. Doing something you enjoy isn't a selfish act, it's an empowering act. Getting into the flow helps you forget about your troubles for a little while, thus reducing stress. Now, here's the caveat. Don't ignore your responsibilities to do your hobby. If you're burying yourself deep into your hobbies and it's affecting the things that you should be doing, you're actually creating more stress, not only for yourself, but for the people who depend on you. So there's a balance you're going to have to find, but don't ignore your responsibilities as a man. When we enjoy the challenge of problem solving in our hobbies, it can bleed into other areas of our lives. We kind of refigure our brains to think more critically and approach challenges with a new sense of purpose. We have a renewed concept for things like diligence and attention to detail and seeing things through. The benefits spill over into other parts of your life, and that they can help you become more successful in your workplace and your relationships and in your communities. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you're looking for a hobby and you don't know where to start, well, what are you interested in? Are you interested in sports or cooking or gardening? Find something that you like and go for it. And don't worry if you're afraid that you won't be any good. I recorded an entire album with no experience, no training, no quality equipment, and it sounds like but I'm currently recording another one, and I can already see vast improvement in my skills because I worked at it. And I got quality equipment, and I researched. And I think it sounds better. Now, am I eventually going to become a great record producer? I don't know. Probably not. Am I having fun? Absolutely. So there you go. Thanks so much for making it to the end of the video. And if you could please hit that like button, the subscribe button, and the little notification bell, and you'll know when I come up with a new video. Well, okay, I guess I'm just going to jam. It sounds better plugged in.